Welcome everybody. I'm Geoff Soper. I'm head of service operations at the IPO, and let's take you through my slides. Okay, thanks for joining the session today. Here's what you can expect. Kind of following the ITIL principles. Where are we now? Kind of what does the intellectual property do? What changes are happening at the IPO? What are the benefits of service squads? How will this affect ITSM? What I haven't quite figured out yet, and then any questions at the end will be great. Okay, so where are we now? The IPO have a number of legacy applications with some aging technologies, which I'm sure is a common theme amongst our audience today. Implementing the you build it, you fix it principle can have significant implications for ITSM and other IT support teams within any organization. The principal emphasis that the team responsible for developing the system is also responsible for maintaining and fixing issues that arise with that system. The IPO are edging nearer to our private beta stage that will introduce new services as part of our digital transformation program. So what do the intellectual property office do? Pretty much what it says on the tin, really. Rights granting for patents, trademarks, designs, and copyright. Provides information about intellectual property to the general public. Establish, monitors, and documents IP ownership and rights, and handles patent portfolios, infringement, piracy, and unauthorized use. So what will the transformation deliver? A single integrated system for all IP rights. Customers will have a single online IPO account with convenient self-service features. Our new and transformed services will be fully digital, quicker and easier to use. Collaborative and real-time advice. Customers will be able to easily research IP with powerful analytical tools that will help them search, query, and interpret and share our data. Completing our transformation will make us, the IPO, a more effective and efficient organization. So where are we on that journey? The journey started a few years ago, as you can see. We're in 23 at the moment. We're on that cusp of private beta. We have 4 main services, which are manage, secure, research, and challenge, with the common tech and data underpinning these services. Our new patent system is due next year, and trademarks and designs in 2025. Whilst these services are being transitioned into live as well, ITSM will have to support old and new worlds. Structure of ITSM is fairly typical, I think. We've got a service operations, service management office, and then end user computing team. In contrast to Ethan's, we've probably got about 40 staff across all the teams here, so it's a much smaller scale. So tell me about the service squads. Okay, let's see what we've got then. So the service squads will consist of members from various disciplines. This cross-functional collaboration ensures that all aspects of service delivery are considered, leading to more holistic solutions and fewer silos. However, it's important to note that integrating service squads with ITSM processes requires careful planning and coordination. Traditional ITSM processes might need to be adapted to accommodate the agile and collaborative nature of service squads. The balance between flexibility and governance is crucial to ensure that IT services remain reliable, secure, aligned with organizational goals. So, what are the benefits of service squads? Service squads are designed to align closely with the needs of customers or end users. A customer-centric approach encourages a deep understanding of user requirements and preferences, resulting in services that are better tailored to users' needs. Teams that build and fix systems can respond more quickly to changing requirements or unexpected issues. Service squad members can find their work more rewarding and fulfilling when they can see the positive effect they have on their customers. Regular interactions with users and stakeholders provide valuable feedback that can be used to refine services. Service squads can use this feedback to make more informed decisions and prioritize enhancements. When the same team is responsible for fixing issues, there would be less finger pointing between squad members, but I think it's more of a collective responsibility as a team that they need to relate to kind of bond and make the ownership of that service more personal. Knowing that the service squad will have to fix any issues that arise, development teams are incentivized to thoroughly test their code and consider potential vulnerabilities or performance concerns during the development process. So how will the service squads work? The service squads will use agile methodologies to encourage a culture of innovation and continuous improvement. By regularly reviewing their processes, service squads can identify areas for enhancement, contributing to the ongoing service improvement. Again, having that customer-centric approach that is driven by analytics to understand the behavior and preferences of our customers will help us make more informed decisions about service improvements and resource allocations. Continuous improvement will be embedded as part of the service squad's ways of working. A shameless plug here for the ITSM conference in November, when I'll be speaking about how continuous improvement of agile practices has been introduced into service operations at the IPO. So what do we expect to see? Since the team that built the system is also responsible for fixing issues, they will have a deep understanding of the system's architecture and design. This can lead to quicker identification and resolution of incidents and problems. Service squads follow agile principles for faster delivery of updates, features, and fixes, which can lead to quicker response times and improved customer satisfaction. Whilst agility is important, ITSM processes must still uphold governance and compliance standards. Adjustments should be made to ensure that agile practices are compliant with necessary regulations and policies of your industry and organization. ITSM tools and automation should support the collaboration and communication needs of service squads. Tools that facilitate real-time updates, tracking, and reporting can enhance visibility and efficiency. Traditional ITSM processes can sometimes lead to bottlenecks, especially when different teams are involved in service delivery. Service squads can streamline the communication and decision-making, therefore reducing delays. Where ITSM has added value at the IPO is ensuring that the service models that have been mapped onto the CMDB with their component dependencies. This obviously to make incident diagnosis easier and to give people a more broader understanding of the service they're supporting. ITSM processes should include new metrics and KPIs that measure the effectiveness of service squads. These metrics may focus on agility, customer satisfaction, and continuous improvement. With the responsibility for the service firmly with the service squad, it's more likely that they will communicate more effectively. The service squad will have a direct line of communication with operations and support staff, leading to a better understanding of the needs and pain points. Communication between the service squads and other parts of the IPO, as well as with stakeholders, is crucial. ITM processes should facilitate clear and transparent communication to ensure alignment and visibility. With the service desk collaborating with developers and defining the business processes and progressive capture up front, customers can report issues directly to developers for that service. Apologies. This allows direct access to specialised expertise and reduces the need for issue escalation and in theory leading to quicker solutions. This flowchart shows you how the business process has been set up for private beta phase and how the improvement team have provided a business process for the customer support team to directly log tickets to the service squad. Part of that automation was to integrate our ITSM tool, Hornbill, with Azure DevOps, placing tickets directly onto the ADO board. We were able to create from both the customer support team and from Azure event-driven alerts. We are currently on making the updates synchronous between both systems. A really interesting observation here, and you may have already noticed it, that the triage for raised tickets is not with the service desk, but with the service squad. This is mainly due to the complexity of the new services, and this is why the feedback loop between the service squad triage and the service desk needs to be constantly monitored. What are the service desk going to be doing? I hear you say the service desk role here is going more towards automation and providing to making sure the mechanisms are there to get the tickets that are raised either from Azure or from our portal directly to the right service squad. This also has to be weighed up against the other work streams the service desk have from internal customers. Historically, and going forward, the service desk at the IPO has always been internal facing. So what does the impact of service squads actually mean for ITSM? What will change in ITSM? End-to-end ownership of services. There is a definite shift in responsibilities here. The service squads will now take ownership of the entire lifecycle of a service. Availability and performance will still be monitored closely by ITSM though. As services in the old world begin to be decommissioned, the operations center's role will shift from being a primary troubleshooter and fixers to for application and platform specific issues to more strategic tasks such as incident managers. More focus will be placed on event and alert management, which will include for the first time a comprehensive monitoring strategy that will include observability principles. ITSM processes should continue to be adapted to allow for end-to-end responsibility from design and development through to deployment, thus providing a more flexible solution. What the improvement team have provided for private beta phase will have to be enhanced and configured as new requirements are identified. Traditional ITSM processes might need to be adapted to accommodate the agile and collaborative nature of service squads. I can already hear the cries of, oh, it shouldn't be on my board, it should be on theirs. At the IPO, we've already provided that functionality via our ITSM tool, but there will be an element of triage that will still need to be carried out in each service squad. As mentioned earlier, the collaboration between service desk and service squad triage is vitally important to identify whether tickets should be raised so the automation can be provided by the service desk. Ticketing best practice will also need to be tweaked as service squads will be using ADO as their primary tool, but it's intended that our ITSM tool will be the single source of truth. With automation and control of assigning the tickets should get to the right service squad first time. And depending on your first time fix criteria, this becomes a lot easier to calculate with the service squads in place. For change on our existing state, a pragmatic approach is being taken to only fix what is necessary. This will be limited only to essential functional changes required by law and maintenance activities to ensure compliance. This is to ensure critical resources do not become overloaded. Understanding the impact of pre-approved standard changes for the service squads is to ensure that the correct governance is applied for their release pipelines. This is to enable the fast and continuous delivery that was mentioned earlier. So what do we still need to figure out? Or what do I need to figure out? Out of our support, there are a number of staff from the Operations Centre and platforms that are on call currently and have at their disposal a number of runbooks to fix our existing services. For our new services, this will need to be built up and a new community formed. Going back to one of the earlier slides about improved documentation from service squads, this just highlights how important this information is going to be for operational support going forward. How the Operations Centre will transition from fixing incident and event management, we're still currently working through that. Working with the service squads and Operations Centre need to be fully understand how to implement our monitoring strategy alongside the new technology that's been introduced. ITSM will need to provide flexible and adaptable change release processes. In turn, the service squads will need to work together with ITSM to ensure the dependency on common service components are fully understood. There are two questions I still would like to know the answer to. Could there be a need for incident and problem management in each of the service squads? That's something that we're still discussing and are open to having those chats. And will ITSM be fully integrated into the service squads into the future? These are the boundaries I need to figure out and what's best for supporting IPO in the future. But the fact that we've already started introducing agile principles into service operations, it feels like a logical step. But again, we need to discuss that fully at the IPO. So, in summary, overall, implementing the you build it, you fix it principle should have a positive effect on ITSM and can lead to more efficient, accountable, and collaborative practices within the IPO. However, it's important to note that the you build it, you fix it doesn't mean that the service squad is solely responsible for all aspects of maintenance and support. Depending on the severity and complexity of any instance, collaboration with other functions, especially ITSM, will still be necessary. Thanks for listening.